Are you ready for chapter 14? I want to say yes, but I probably am not. There we go. But yeah, so it was a messy fail. Gonna look today because I'm raiding. Okay, fair enough. I hope that goes well. I'm assuming you mean Final Fantasy, unless like Monster Hunter does raids. That might be a thing. But yeah, so I got Duckface here just before he went past my tank. I basically had a Marina support and Chen doing the brunt of the damage, but he was spawning in those red slugs, and at that point Cora was still dealing with a lot of people, so one or two of them slipped past and got in, and I didn't have the operators to put someone down to stop it, so it wasn't perfect. I could change it. I think I can bring someone in to drop down and stuff like that, so I know how to do it as a freestyle, but I just once I had it done, because I basically bashed my head against the wall to get it to work, once I won, I stopped caring at that point. I just needed, like, okay, there we go, it's done, I am now closing the game. If I remember correctly, it just stalled him hard with Oshiguma. Yeah, that's true. I didn't really have any defenders that are particularly tanky in that regard. Like, they're all really tanky, but not against him. Cora was probably the best I had, or at least, the best I had that isn't like 30 plus DP. But yeah, so we've done it, so now we can continue on with the story. This stream is pretty much story only. Well, it is story only. We've done all of the stages. But that's fine. It wouldn't be the first time I've done that. But yeah, so we're going with the after. And hopefully the game doesn't crash. Just as the front, Hoshi up front. Behind her, Blaze with S2 and field support down. Okay. Shit goes down when this music starts playing. Also, I say that, but audio is still kind of low. How's that sound? That sounds better, I think. We'll see. I'll take a drink. Blood rain falls incessantly, as if it will never stop. Logos and Amia's shoulders have been soaked red by the rain. The white-haired vampire, however, seems to stroll casually under the rain, completely spotless. Even after losing, it's still showing off. Now it sounds too loud, at least in my headset anyway. Just turning it down a bit for herself. Look at the sorry state of yourselves. Lost in confusion, losing sight of what matters. Even if no one answers your cries, you can't waste the stage you've been given. Don't waste your chance at a grand farewell. What do you mean clean my screen? My screen is clean. What did I get wrong? Did I read something wrong? Never mind. Oh, you mean... Okay, you mean the... Fuck's sake. There. Anyway. I state it, therefore it is prescribed. I think therefore I am? I don't know. The wind and rain cease, deprived of its right to flow. Damn, he single-handedly stopped it raining in Victoria. The moment the words are spoken, the blood rain freezes in mid-air. Like curtains, like stars, it refracts the sorrow of the sea, the brilliance of the moons. No, I was kind of thinking that when I heard the clock slow down sound, I was kind of thinking of the Waldo. We're not in Victoria though. True. The Sanguinarch squints, seemingly unsurprised by the incantation of the Lords of the Banshees. Rather, it is as if he is appreciating a piece of art drawn between heaven and earth. You've halted the surging. Impressive. Blood pauses at your command. But I am its master. The suspended beads of blood suddenly burst in the air, splattering anything they can reach. The knell will decay. The order will wear, no? If you so disdain your noble blood, I might as well extract it and return it to your mother, Banshee. She will play for you and mournful whistle. Amir. Ooh. The vampire only gives Amir a momentary opportunity, but it is more than enough. Amir's palm presses against the vampire's body, sticky blood burning her palm. Is this your blood? Heated by arts, heated by your talent. But the hot blood I've seen has all been for the sake of resistance, for the sake of life. And those people, their blood is much hotter than yours. Black lines burst from Amir's palm, piercing through the vampire's body. Amir, fall back. You didn't get his vitals. Oh, how cold, King of Sarkaz. A monarch of such little grace you are. Sanguinarch of vampires, Prince of the Crimson Court, your offspring fill every battlefield the Sarkaz touch. You proclaim to them that slaughter and conquest are the ancient traditions of the vampires. You've shaped your court into what it is today. You've made the people see all vampires as nothing more than twisted creatures, desire like yourself. But the vampires I know are not like you. They haven't gone mad like you. But they've only managed to conceal their desires, conditioned to deeply by this age, that should have been 2, in which they have no home. Some choose to bow down to the invaders, and I pity them. No, that's not it. How do you interpret the blood that your court stands for? The sufferings of the Sarkaz need no elucidation. All Sarkaz, even those who submit to you, inevitably know the taste of blood. I think I added an extra syllable to inevitably. Overturned in dark alleys, intercepted in dark forests, sometimes a throat is cut, sometimes cold daggers are thrust between ribs. It awakens the siblings who now know the cost of submission, and they come to rebel until they too are covered in the blood of their enemies. How pitiful. Kill or be killed. This is the cycle of the blood that is the Sarkaz carry. I thought I said Sarkaz army for some reason. Is that how you define the meaning of blood? A cycle? The first time any of us felt blood on our skin, wasn't it when we were born from our mothers? Blood is a foundation of human life, heritage passed down on umbilical cords, inevitable stumbles when exploring the outside world, and wounds that will surely heal. But you see it as a synonym for torment and death. Your obsession makes you bloodthirsty. You, with all your arrogance and pride, lead them to believe that this is the path the Sarkaz should take, the things they should do. I reject you, Sanguine Arch. I reject your actions, your words, and your court. What is this I'm hearing? You, an outblood, reject me? Oh, jazz music stops. Also, has his eyes always been open, or have I just sort of Mandela affected that into existence? A mere crown has inflated you to what, King of Sarkaz? He angry now, yeah. Oh dear. He's doing the villain pose. The blood sea churns. Its waves cover the moons. Crimson removes all other colours. Oh, I like this war drums. He is ottoing. No, you can't say that because it's true. I don't care what I am or what I'm called. I only know what I need to do. The prince stops moving for a moment. A voice echoes in his mind. I was about to say it's been a little while. Is this how you manipulate the king's powers, Cortus? Will you share some profound words? Try to shake me with shallow emotion? You're welcome to try. Shake? No. This is a rejection. The rolling of the waves slows, together with the moonlight. I reject you. I reject you. The way you reduce the king, the Sarkaz, and Kazdel to concepts of power and tradition. I reject you. How you entrust the future to the past, entrust life to slaughter. Theresa, the king, the chancellor, the leader of Babel, she showed everyone a path. Maybe that path is too idealistic. Maybe her promises won't bear the thousands of years of hatred of the Sarkaz. But that's not now, not your choice. You'd laugh at my weakness, say it's not my place to talk about the Sarkaz with you. Or you'd mock Logos for not making use of the blood you awakened just now. Oh, King of Sarkaz, you eavesdrop on my thoughts. Is that your ability? Then of course you know what I'm going to say. I do. But we've never said that the Sarkaz should give up their resistance. We've never said that suffering is justified. On the contrary, those rebels who awaken from their suffering and hardship, from the abyss of hatred. Oh, why am I hearing sacrifice? I don't like it when I hear this song. They will be much, much stronger than you. The lost homeland of the Sarkaz is not in the history you keep looking back to, an eon ago. It can't be a slogan or a fantasy or a symbol. It's right here, where the Sarkaz came from. In the city called Kazdel, where so many real people live. People that you've only condemned to a void of ideas. You've imagined the present from the past, and the real future can never be born. It's time to stop, vampire. It's time to sorry. Ooh. I do love that they added in effects to the cutscenes. But also, shit, another one bites the dust. Amia's ring shatters, sending splinters flying. Budget. Yeah, POV when your favourite anime gets like a single OVA or like a movie. And suddenly like it's like so much more we've put in. Cold anger burns within Amia as she scrutinises the enemy before her. She thought her anger would rise, burning like a fire that could scorch the ocean. But no, that's not what's happening. Amia feels more than just anger, also an intense sadness. The Sarkaz, a people who have lost their homeland. Yes, they believe that is only through violence and war that they can reclaim all they've lost. It's easy to blame them, with cliché words of morality, justice and kindness. Words that have been spoken over and over again, even as the war continues, as hatred spreads. Because that is how the world treats them. This world has imposed on them violence and war. So then, what's wrong with an eye for an eye? Where is the crime in blood for blood? Every king of Sarkaz operates on those principles, so the war never stops. This must be broken, but how? How can this system be broken? Even Teresa failed. What do you think you are? Yes, even she failed. That's why Teresa needs me. The Doctor and Dr. Calcit need me. And that's why I'm here. I, as the Revenant called me, as you called me, as so many Sarkaz believe me to be. The Outblood, the weak, King of Sarkaz. Stand down. I just gotta say, she's definitely grown quite a bit in like the past 14 chapters, 13 chapters. Yeah, like, beat his ass! Also, hello still. The Obsidian Decree transforms into the Judgment of the King, stabbing into the scorched blood. Also, that entire line just goes hard. I'm sorry, the Obsidian Decree, what? That is just... Oh, that line goes so hard. The thick red finally dissipates. The vampire takes a few steps back, raising his hand to wipe away the blood that flows from his nose and mouth. His body is damaged, and his white clothes are at last stained with blood. You can't fight anymore, Sanguinarch. It's time for this battle to end. King of Sarkaz, won't you grant me that vision of emptiness? Don't you want to peer into my thoughts, see my sorrows and pain? You can reprimand me, reject me. Countless Sarkaz believe this is the power of the king. You say I've corrupted my court, but what about you? Oh, king, the Sarkaz take your direction, your path, My people follow you, expecting you to well exploit their flesh and blood, their lives and their souls. Their blind faith is ridiculous. I sneer at the king's comfort, but I have seen it. My elder brother was a king of Sarkaz. What a lofty title. What a transcendent role. He was looked to as the leader of the Sarkaz, our guiding light. He was a natural saviour, the one who would pull us out of our misery. But what was the reality? What kind of people has the Black Crown chosen? In the beginning, the King of Sarkaz was indeed magnificent. The Diablos walked the path of punishment. The Goliaths roared the fearless calamity. But they found themselves betrayed by the cowardly, sold out by the selfish. This is our curse. The king killed the king. Succession to this crown often comes with death. Well, I mean, that is usually how succession to any monarchy happens. The vile always prevail. As such, the crown was besmirched by short-sighted fools. The weak began to appear among the kings. They were narrow-minded, focused on toying with the power they held in their hands. They became no better than the hypocritical lords among the elders and the ancients. The power they stole from others clouded their vision. The focus of my people's faith turned from fearless warriors to vermin hiding in the palaces. They even forgot the shame borne by the name Sarkaz. But the crown continued to make its laughable choices, right up to my brother. I thought surely he would be the hero we had waited for. He, on the other hand, had the audacity to say to me that the Sarkaz could no longer afford to continue to war, that it would take generations to rebuild Kazdel. Even the skeleton beneath our feet knows that the Kazdel we should rebuild was never meant to be a city, and that the King of Sarkaz should be the one to stand before them all. How can a man like that deserve to hold a single drop of Tikaz blood within his body? Do you see it, King of Sarkaz? I see a bloody civil war. The carpets of the palace are soaked red. I see a vampire lying in the arms of another vampire. The legend of the toppled blood prince. He died in a civil war. You're his kin. Did you fight in the war? I'm assuming he was the one that killed him. No. Oh, never mind. No, of course not. Did I fight? I shattered the crown myself. Or maybe it was. I remember it like it was yesterday. My hand pierced his chest. Yes, it was him. Of course it was him. The limpid Tikaz blood danced on my fingertips, finally entering my veins. Was a hello, Merwind. He turned his head to look at me, grabbing my clothes. The King of Sarkaz showed his illusory vision to his murderer before he died. The vision that should have been bestowed as an honour. In the vision I witnessed peace. As you said, Quartus, the blood is not synonymous with death. I stood in a valley, watching a quiet village, a doctor laughing as he spoke, stitching up wounds for the injured. An injured man tells the doctor that his quarry was particularly ferocious, but he eventually won out. In the courtyard hangs the freshly harvested beast meat. And the doctor is me. But this makes me uncontrollably angry. How tragic, how meaningless, how shameful. My brother actually believes that this false peace could deceive me. He was horrifically wrong. Damn, man saw a future in which everything was fine and he had a good life, and he went, gross. He's crashing out, he really is. He thought I was blinded by hatred? No, I know what peace is. And that's exactly why I feel so restless. We long to see the great and powerful, true Sarkaz. I absorbed my brother's blood. Did I say blubber as well? I absorbed my brother's blood into my body, and I watched as the black crown vanished before my eyes. But you did not ascend to the throne of the King of Sarkaz. And I do not regret that. If it could choose a formidable leader, I would be genuinely delighted. Does that mean you do not consider yourself a formidable leader? But this crown disappoints me time and time again. I know he theorizes himself, but I just wanted to turn it on him. Each time I am more disappointed. My brother's successor was a wandering vagrant. The next was a lumberjack. If it weren't for the records kept by the Confessari, these people would not be remembered at all. Later, a king who ruled Kazdel was killed by the monster called Calcit in the sight of the coalition army, rather. Then came Teresa and Teresis. Teresis. They were impressive, but also frustrating. Teresa, immersed in her fantasies, wasted her strength, much like my weak elder brother. And her successor turned out to be a Cortus, an outblood. Things being what they are, the Crown's choices being so absurd, even as its existence brings such humiliating hope to my people. I would rather bury it beyond the reach of civilization. I will let it be truly lost, forgotten to history. You're still struggling. Amia, don't give him the chance. You're weakening too. However tarnished the crown may be, its weight is not something an infantile Cortus could bear. It seems the Confessari, so eager to manipulate the crown, are going to blather some nonsense at me. Take another look around you, Cortus. If you die, there will be no more successors. Or maybe you'd place your crown on the moons? The flowing blood surges toward the Sanguine Archer's body. Yes, he did indeed call her a baby. I suppose it was more like a toddler, but yeah. The white-haired Sarkaz stands proudly once again. But how can he still fight? The king's arts should have pierced his body, leaving it unable to regenerate. He's using blood to fill the holes in his flesh, using it to mend his wounds. He's a marionette now. You've become more proficient in the use of the king's power, Cortus. But all your oh yeah, his eye is normally closed. But all your ambitions, warnings, judgments, and proclamations are nothing but jokes. Ignorant little rabbit. The crown over your head represents no responsibility or authority. King of Sarkaz. I mock only your foolishness. Not only your foolishness, but that of the king. And that of the crown itself. Once vibrant red that fills the entire space no longer exists. Only a bit of crimson ooze from the Sanguine Archer's pupils. When the Sarkaz lose a king on which they are so dependent, then perhaps they will wake up from this shameful dream of a coming salvation. I accede to your statement that those awakening from a dream will be much more powerful. Yes, okay. And that is why you cannot defeat me. How can the fallen consciousness of the Sarkaz resist me? The one who once carried the blood of the Tikaz. The polluted cannot defile the pure. The impure cannot touch the limpid. Your origin lies in the Tikaz, a long line you can only climb. We are the rebels. I decree, therefore I correct. Blood and fire extinguished, face to doom. Look out, Lugus! A touch of crimson appears from nothing. The space once occupied by the Banshee is replaced by blood. His blood, it's affecting me. Several times stronger than those art circles. Yes, thanks to you, I have also shed my blood here. And therefore, this place is now part of Kazdel. Who would have thought that as much as anyone assumed they knew the full length and breadth of this great land? The boundaries of our home is still expanding, even in this time and place. Sarkaz, my self-proclaimed Sarkaz kin. March with your blood. Carry on with that which will never betray you. The boon of your blood. I will take you back to the origin of this all. Of all of this. Same thing. And that is... Ha! A shadow pierces his chest. Threads of blood holding him together are severed in an instant. You... She really just went... She just appeared from the shadows and went, "Oh my woman." Sorry, Sarkaz boons don't do much for me. Fucking hell. Oh, okay. I was about to say, did the man just explode? No, it was W. Bunny! You aren't Sarkaz. Hop to it. Weaken his binds. Flashbang. No, Speedy, that's literally... You are honestly pretty accurate by that. That really does remind me of the Lord of the Rings. Just goes, "I am no man." Stabs. That's what I'm doing. His arts is even crazier than I imagined. I can barely hear his thoughts anymore. There's only red. All red. I've almost got it. She's nearly at the mainframe. The brain frame. Sorry. Another out blood. An unexpected development. The scent of your blood. Your Caprine? Such a dull disguise. Let's have your blood suffocate you. Do you think such crude arts would let you kill a king of the Sarkaz royal court? Of course not. A heavy sword points directly at the Sanguine Archer's head. You can't call something as cliché as slaughter an awakening, Sanguine Arch. You're still wandering in hatred and destruction. You've never left the abyss. You're the ones who are still sleeping. Vile traitors. Mans is really getting Julius Caesared over here. King of Sarkaz. Oh, good evening, Slip, and yeah, no worries. Thanks for the lurk, though. Hope you have a good stream. Thank you, and I hope you have a good time with whatever you're doing in the background. Now, before he recovers, knock him off the skeleton. Yeet him into the void. The elegy... Elegy? The elegy begins to play. The wailing of the banshee weaves into a mournful melody, and the waves beneath his feet sing a solemn song. A steady male voice harmonizes, with the sound of the bells, the moonlight as his prose. The bone whistle sounds itself before it is played. Its distant howl, traversing time itself, strikes the Crimson Court. Just a random vampire in Casdel's just like, I felt a disturbance in the force. The moment I took my throne, the knells were already tied to my fate. None of us can escape. But what the elegy mourns will not be your corpse. It will be all of our connections. Closure just sneezes somewhere. Sanguinarch continues to struggle, blood gushing from his fingertips like the claws, carving deep scratches into the bleached skull of the Faranmut. His body disintegrates into the dirge, only to reform in blood. He is the icon of blood, and as long as there is blood, he will continue to fight. The longer the icon of blood is in the abyss, the stronger he becomes. Sorry, that's the only thing I can think of. I could just think of Dr. Hayden, like, you know, the robotic voice, just talking about the icon of sin. I will not, Banshee. Amir, join me. Explore the strings of the elegy. Seek out the origin of the Banshee. Look at me. Look at the wails you once covered your ears to avoid. We must end him here. I'll try. Here comes the power of friendship. The Banshee's song echoes again, and the ancient knells seem to materialize, deterring the creeping blood. The vampire still rises. After a moment, a rather tender feminine voice joins the harmonic dirge. A proclamation of death? A sentence of rejection? No, not only. The melody carries a kind of midity, a lingering sadness. Does that also echo? As the blood cools, the moonlight changes. The hatred of the Sarkaz is not unreasonable, and the vampire's vengeance is not unreasonable. However, this is by no means the promised future. Can the survivors have a future on scorched earth? No. What do those siblings actually see? Banshee, listen! You have still accepted your blood, my boon. You have not yet defeated yourself. Oh, shut up. You're way too beyond for all this bargaining bullshit. What echoes here? Oh, there's the echo. What echoes here is no longer an elegy. It is only a sigh. A sigh that makes him uneasy. Great, congratulations. Even fate is disappointed in you now. The heat of the explosion and the weight of the sword make the Sanguinarch feel powerless for the first time. He looks at the small, ever so small King of Sarkaz. He looks at that Cortus, so inferior to the Sarkaz. He looks at the black crown. Such a meaningless curse. The history and illusions he trampled on, the bloodline and inheritance, the revenge, and the unrivaled power all suddenly disappear. He feels a void beneath his feet. A figure in white falls from the skeleton. Why does it look like he's smiling? I'm have to lean in, but I can't quite tell. Well, that could just be lighting, but that does look like a wide smile. Also, I do like that, yes, he's a vampire, and therefore he does, even while he's falling to his death, he does the, you know, the cape makes the bat thing. like they really just said, okay, we're gonna send off this vampire, so we might as well make him as obviously a vampire as possible. Oh, I love it. Ridiculous. Even the myriad souls mock me. Lords of the Banshees and King of Sarkaz. You keep these deserters around to ignore the past, and in the end, you won't even dare to act yourselves. Oh, the vile always prevail. This is indeed our curse. The Outblood King has executed me. The King of Sarkaz resounds with the knells. But you don't know how strong the ties of blood are. You try to judge. Oh, just die already! Jesus! Most villains don't have this much of a long-winded monologue while they're actively falling. You... In the end, you did use the power within your blood. Two elegiac singers offered me a dirge at the same time. When the time came, you could not resist the instinct within your blood that compromises all you are. Did you really kill me? No. I have returned the Tikaz blood to where it belongs. Go and see. Go to Londinium. I'll be waiting for you behind the curtain of ruin. Also, again, a line that goes hard. Motherfucker is like that person who argues and then is like, says, okay, I'm done with this. And then immediately does a 180, turns around and says, and you know what? And like immediately continues the argument. Disaster coalesces. Hardships converge. Disaster is nigh. Why should I help you, King? Oh, why don't I get... Oh, because I'm so used to saying King of Sarkaz now that... that I just automatically add it whenever I see Sarkaz. Why should I help you, Sarkaz? Do you think you saved me? I didn't die. Though that doesn't even matter. This shell is merely a plaything I abandoned long ago. Besides, aren't the Sarkaz the ones hunting me down? How much history have you seen? All that I have experienced. Rumours say that you will divulge a piece of truth, or a hint at an omen. You tiny little creatures treat my drifting ripples as hallucinations while indulging in them, and yet you harbour resent? After I was divvied up by those lunatics, there's even a fallen angel carrying a part of me around. And what I've seen and heard since has actually gotten more interesting. I wonder who the Fallen Sanctor is. Unless that's just a metaphor, but I'm assuming it... I know of a couple. Or like I know of... There's one playable. I don't know, it might be one of the NPCs though. No, it's an operator. Oh, so Mostima. Oh yeah, Mostima. On the contrary, what makes me feel absolute boredom are these so-called bulky histories and profound topics. Absolute boredom. You're not wrong on that. History always repeats itself on this land. Looking at the past is now a means of looking towards the future. And so, I have actually become a prophet. In this life of mine, if you can still count my current form and same life as before, I've never thought of having such an identity. Then, are you looking for a new conclusion? There we go. Sorry, I just had to check some things. Just how old do you think I am, you little rascal? Wait, did I miss that bit? Oh yeah, there we go. There won't be any new conclusions to draw. With the way all of you look like now. Yes, something strange has happened to these decrepit bones of mine. A rabbit wears the Sarkaz's crown, and she together with a male banshee are fighting a vampire on the top of my head. As far as Saturday nights go, that's probably one of the weirder ones. Of course, there's that sheep playing with shadows who hangs out with you too. Are these new to me? A little, perhaps. But you can't win. You seem so sure. Do we also belong to the history you've seen? That has come full circle time and time again. There's never been a shortage of those who resist on this great land, but they always fall into the same trap. Besides, I understand that vampire's tricks. He was the one who peeled off my skin back then. Let's have a wager, Faranmut. This strange bunch of people, Portus, Caprine, Banshee, Sarkaz, they'll triumph over the vampire that tried to hunt you. Are you trying to win my favour? Do you think I'll look at you differently for helping me? I couldn't care any less about that. But what are you putting on the table? Oh, I don't care about that. Go on. If we win, you'll lend us your help and bring us back to where we came from. And if you lose, we'll all be dead by that point. You're making an empty offer, little thing. I accept. I love how this being just constantly does this sort of like complete 180, like pretty much every single thing they say. Oh, don't ruin the moment. You really are easy to talk over. No, it's because I know that all you have are just the waves I toss up. That will calm to a still in the blink of an eye. So I might as well spare a little effort and raise my eyelids a little. Do you even have eyelids left? You have indeed won by a minuscule move, but the bet is far from over. Did you really win? Did you triumph over the enmity, slaughter, and blood the vampire represents? Why don't we expand our wager a little? I'll bring all of you back. Oh, fuck off. No! I thought we were done with that motherfucker. And then continue waiting for you in the cycles of history. Or continue to wait for you. whale. Sorry. How long have they been gone? 3 hours and 14 minutes. But who's counting? I'm really worried about them. You should trust them. It's all we can do. We're done with our combat mission too. Our losses aren't light. Their forces here are indeed well trained. Most of the Sarkaz chose to fight to the end, but a small number also chose to surrender. Oh, never mind. Unless it was going to be no for both of them. No, I'm not doing that. But I refuse to let them die so simply just like that. Okay, yeah, that would have been both, I think. Perhaps it's difficult to put them on trial during wartime. But you don't anyway. Prisoners of war go straight to prison. They can then be trialed if they've been found guilty of war crimes after the fact. Well, actually, no, they do trial them during as well. And investigations have been open in like Ukraine for soldiers that they captured who are known to have done crimes. So anyway, that's Earth. This is Terra, so it's all different. It's definitely a difficult task to judge just how much blood is on the hands of every terror-stricken Sarkaz who laid down their arms. But if we act just like they do, then we'll be no different than them. Vina, I'd like to take on the responsibility of investigating the crimes committed by these Sarkaz prisoners of war. Sudden surprise. I prefer my method, load shotgun. I mean, that is typically how you should deal with occupiers. I have a professional covert intelligence background too, so I'm well versed in ways to get them to talk. Can we do it without waterboarding them? I mean, it's not that I don't think it would work, it's just that typically you will say whatever you want as you make it stop. I know what you're worried about. No, I'm not. I'll leave it to you. Alright. I won't let a single drop of blood go unaccounted for. Prepare for battle. The Faranmut will be back soon. Monster, stand by. There's no way we can be sure who will be on this return trip. The gigantic skeleton finally reappears. You know, I was worried that it was just going to like appear over Londinium and just like wreck shit, but I guess not. The torrents of time seem to have washed away any trace of battle, and it hovers in the air no different than it was at any other point in time. Until the explosion, I guess. Monster! Hey, let go of me, you damn... Ugh. Seems like that old hag's awake. Think you got her back in now? Think you got her backing you up now? That's my last grenade. So bite onto that. Bite onto it tight, you little freak. I love it. I love how Calcit's not stopping it either. She's just sort of watching as this gremlin of a woman is tossing grenades into Monster's mouth, and it's probably doing fuck all. At that point, I guess that would be an improvement from Londinium. Probably, yes. Yeah, that was definitely a delay. It was like, put her down, Monster. Shitty luck today. Oh, I just wanted to give myself a ceremonial salute to announce my return. Didn't think I'd see an old hag with a scowl on her face once the skeleton stopped. don't forget we have to repair any structures you blow up here after taking over the place. Anything destroyed will be fixed by the same hand. Huh? What makes you think I'd even know how to fix this kind of thing? The complete look of concern. How's it, Doctor? We've captured the Farenwood skeleton, as well as Commander Ursula. The rest of the skeleton garrison have been eliminated. Grumpy. So you're the Dame Calcit. I've heard so much about you. You're one of the Scar Market's people. You know every little thing that's happening in Casdale clearly, even from somewhere as far as Victoria. Seems like those old guys weren't lying. I'll have a talk with those old guys, as you call them. Through you when we're done with business here. There are ones who stayed behind to watch over Casdale, and the Lich have already contacted the military commission that currently governs the place. They'll be making their decision soon. Where's Amir and Logos? Oh, there it is. Doctor! Amir. The little courser crashes into your arms. With my balance, I'll immediately go over. I'll just be falling onto my back. I think I can. I'm pretty sure, Mowins, I can think of 2 reasons as to why you want her. Suffice to say, I'm glad there isn't an eye tracker. There's blood all over you. Are you hurt? I'm fine. The blood, it was the vampires. Amir, your rings. You used them. Well, don't act as if you're surprised. I mean, I'm sure you probably went into this thinking that would happen. Yeah. Let me see your hands. A ring on Amir's hand has already disintegrated, leaving not even a trace or fragment. I had to use it against him. I'm sorry. You've become more skilled when using emotions and memories. Amir, you fainted from releasing a ring before. Calcit, we needn't run another check on Amir. No, Doctor, don't worry. I'm just kind of tired. You're going to pass out, aren't you? Oh, never mind. The ring on your right index remains broken. Fortunately, that's just an effect of exerting yourself. You were burning from rage again. Me? Angry? I thought I'd be angry at the Sanguinarch of the vampires for slaughtering so many people. But what I felt was not just that. There was also sadness. Sadness. Calcit pauses briefly, and a pair of pink eyes, always hiding sadness within, flashes through her memory. A few seconds after, she comes to her senses and takes a second look at Amir's fingers. These rings are meant to help you adapt to the Lord of Fiend's power, and the surge of emotions that come with it. Another ring has cracked. Perhaps we can do nothing but witness these wounds open again and again. Please, don't worry, Dr. Calcit. No matter who I've faced, or who I will face next, I won't fall before they do. The Sanguinarch of the vampires fell into some place we don't know about. His corpse still remains, but no longer poses a threat to us. However, we failed to prevent the curse from being cast. It's coming from Londinium. What's happening over there? The Self-Salvation Corps originally believed that the cutting off this supply line would be a way to end the war. But things have changed. This war will not last for much longer. We need to hurry over. The skeleton might be able to become a new stronghold or an unprecedented means of transport. Hopefully we can put to good use. The decisive battle is right before us. Sarkaz cannot be the culprits of the next calamity. Also, Dr. Calcit, the vampire's obsession, his hopes, and what he called a curse, is originium. Yes. The oldest Kazdel came into contact with originium before any other civilization did. It was not the remnants of a catastrophe or a mineral silently buried within the rock formations. It was a hunk of originium from antiquity. And it birthed the oldest witchcraft and the most ancient of infected. So does that basically make that person like patient 0? Because I kind of get the impression that was basically the first infected. If the vampire really knew of this fact and developed his obsession from that, thinking it could grant him power, then it won't just be Londinium's fate that will be determined next. Also, at this point, surely it must be like chapter 14 and 15 must be like the last. Because it really does feel like it's gearing up to the final battle now. Back here again. Londinium. Yeah. After all we've been through, we're finally in Victoria's capital. A pity it's now completely surrounded by the Sarkaz and the Duke's armies. Guards, quickly arrange... First of all, arrange another apathy screening of our members. I know some of them are still deteriorating. Non-combatants will be stationed in this forest. First of all, take good care of them and keep in touch with us. Okay, so I'm going to assume this is going to be like some massive, like, 4-5-way battle. Like, you've got the Duke's armies, and I'm assuming Dublin are going to get back into the mix, because I know Wellington, or whoever the fuck he is involved as well. You've got the Sarkaz. I might have already mentioned Sarkaz, in which case it's Victoria. There's Reunion. There's a lot of people. Are we really going in there? The infected will be everywhere throughout the city, no matter how the war ends. Sarkaz or Victorian, soldiers or nobles, and even farmers, workers, traders, they won't be able to judge their own identity so quickly. Victoria, Dublin, Sarkaz, Rhodes, and Reunion, true. And if you want to consider the Victoria nobles different to the Victoria of Vina and her group and the Self-Salvation Corps, then that's technically an extra person as well. You've got Gaul. Well, technically yes, but I think Gaul died with Renee. So Battle of the Final Armies in Lord of the Rings. Sort of, yeah. Although this might also kind of represent well, I suppose it would be like a new coalition against Sarkaz, or you could sort of see it as the Battle of the Four Emperors. Is that what they called it in this game? I can't quite remember, but you know, the one where they defeated Gaul. Funny as Gaul is very dead, yes. Perhaps they won't even realise it until peace returns, and they're once again marginalised, and then it hits them. No one can correct the croissant anymore, no. I was reminded of this because of what happened to Guard. But no matter. We have to let every infected on this land know that our flag flies high once again. And more importantly, what it stands for. One day, when they become prisoners again, they will think of our flag as they realise the justice on this land must be won through struggle. What's the plan? We'll split up. It won't happen overnight. Other people can handle the task of eradicating the disease, while we'll make sure oppression will no longer be tolerated. We'll need to directly demonstrate this with our strength. I mean, to be fair, I do agree with this. I do think that bigotry, which is basically what this is about, bigotry, oppression, and the people who instill it, I believe that they should be scared to voice such opinions. And I say that as someone who grew up in a time when that was the case. Like, before 2016, I'd say. Like, long before that. The 2000s, 2010s, or at least half of the 2010s. You know, there used to be a point when, you know, people had to, like, look left and right before saying something that they knew they shouldn't. And I kind of want things to go back to that time. And I feel like, which is kind of why I've always leaned towards reunion, even when I knew what they were doing was wrong, and, like, you know, I hated Tallulah, or, well, more specifically the snake, but at the time I didn't know it was the snake, because I pretty much fully subscribe to at least the idea of reunion, not so much what they ended up doing. In Victoria, we need, at the very least, 9. Nope. There's fire on the other side of the hill, 100 or 2 meters away at the most. It's glowing an unnatural hue. Percival, how long has it been since the scouting team last replied to us? Huh? Let me go check. Yeah, it's been longer than our estimations. But this isn't the first time. Our comms equipment are just junk after all. I'll go ask Red. Tallulah stares at the flames. There is no reason or omen, only a strong feeling. An unnatural hue. Are we talking perhaps the purple fire that a certain someone uses? He smells the stench of death cast by the firelight. Come on. Oh, okay, guess not then. Oh, there he is. I didn't know your highness would be here in person. This is only a trifling swarm of infected with weapons, weak and pitiable people who forced to unite and fight. Even if there is a surviving Draco among them, we'll confirm her identity and handle everything on your behalf. I'm not blaming you, of course. They changed her artwork. I don't remember her holding that before. Also, what is even that? Because I always think of those Asian, like, I forgot what they're called. Are they like prayers or sigils or something like that? But I'm assuming it's not, because that wouldn't make any sense for someone who's basically based off, like, Ireland. Have the scouts located the target? Yes, it's consistent with our intel. Talisman, sorry, that was the word I was thinking of. Also, I just remembered how much I hate Dublin. The group, not the place. However, with all due respect, why do we have to be so concerned about her this much? Even if she has the Red Dragon's blood, her identity will only pose a slight deterrent to your claim. But if our intel is accurate, her current identity is that of an infected. So, what does she mean to... An infected, Don't we know another infected Draco as well? My sister will soon return to my side. Can't believe I hate Irish. I don't hate the Irish. I do, however, have a general disdain for the IRA. Regardless of what people on Twitter love to promote about them. And Dublin is directly based on them. So that's the reason why. And I will admit, Hypergriff have done a really good job at emulating that. Both the hypocrisy, the underlying, actually they just want power, and also just the brutality of them. I think they did a really good job of actually saying, yeah, this is who they are. They did sort of mix them up with the original IRA, the ones that actually made Ireland independent, which is a bit unfortunate because they aren't bad. Just the IRA that we know of during like the 80s, 70s, 80s. But, you know, that's, you know, this is fiction, so of course you mix the two, you base it on this and that, you muddy the waters a bit to make them a little bit more sympathetic. But no, I think they did a good job with Dublin, and I can say that because I thoroughly hate them. Of course, obviously, the whole, you know, heir to the throne thing is not based on anything in reality. Or at least not in modern time. Just think of it as eliminating some unnecessary variables to nourish the soil between us. Weaken a Draco. I've never come into contact with a Draco outside of family before. I should check his brakes in the future. Oh, I'm sure there'll be several nail bombs in my post office. All of you, wait here. I shall take a look myself. I thought she said at myself, and I was going to say, yes, you should. Careful. Thank you. This swamp is miserable to wade through. Yeah. Our supplies are low, and people aren't getting enough to eat. We haven't been able to get decent medication either. You need my help? No, thank you. I walked all the way from Ursus, and this isn't so different from back then. Kalula's footsteps slow down. The group slowly marches next to her through the shrubs and reeds. Oh, I didn't realise she was here. The rustling sounds are quieter than silence itself. Oh, she's here too. What is it? 9. Can you release these restraints? And your arts too. You should be well aware you're not allowed to use your original arts. These are your yoke and fetters. You're Tallulah the hero, only when before our Victorian compatriots. I'm not a hero or anything like that. I just don't want history to repeat itself because of... He does not finish her sentence. Flames of death ignite from the depths of the swamp, encircling the group in their confusion. What's going on? Where did this fire come from? All units on alert. What is that? An ominous deep purple climbs up Nine's body before she has a chance to finish speaking, engulfing her in death instantly. Cold flames of death swallow everything. Bullshit. Reunion. Infected. Another group of pitiable people, fighting against their pitiable fate. Tenacious, powerful, magnificent. And yet, completely unaware they're involved in another lamentable conspiracy. Draco and Aslan, Red Dragon and Lion. You people who rose up from Ursus were actually led to where you stand today by a descendant of the Red Dragon, who will ultimately bring about your demise. Tallulah Artorias, what sort of woman are you, Draco? If you're deserving of my attention, then come forth from death. Sparks fly as Death's voice, with dead branches and reeds all reduced to ash. But the flowers are still in bloom. They are rejecting death. Flowers? Okay, I was going to say, there was no way they'll just do it like that. They normally have a little bit more pomp and circumstance to people's deaths. To think there would even be flowers that can withstand my flames. Nine. I'm fine. I love how just like unfazed Tallulah is through this whole thing. These flames are special. Sorry, I shouldn't have. Yes. She came for me, so I'll handle her. Many of us aren't combat ready. You have to keep them all safe. Reunion will pull you on your chain. You haven't been judged, so don't die just yet. Her flames of death are cut open. No, her death is blocked by delicate vegetation, ignited by flames of fury. Fire ignites fire. The infected turn and run from her. She has never been ignored like this before. Good. Damn brat. You know what? I'm glad with this outcome. Yablana comes to her senses at once. The gaze of the Draco named Tallulah never shifted away from her. Raging flame cleaves into mortal flame. Emotion rends emotion. Tallulah tears into Yablana. The void is now awash with blood. Yablana laughs. Tallulah Artorias, daughter of Edward and legitimate heir to the Victorian throne. How says you? This is your true self. Oh, okay, that art goes hard. That is really good. We have nothing to do with each other, Draco of Dublin. Is that for you to say? Just look at you, Red Dragon. How strong and powerful you are. And yet, despite your might, you once again willingly toss aside the glory of the Red Dragon to the Aslans so easily, to let them trample on the red carpets of Westerleague. She's had like literally nothing to do with any of this so far. Like you are the only one who gives a shit about the Aslan at the moment. I mean, yes, I know her like father is Victorian, and I'm assuming it's probably a bit of that, but I don't know. Was it her father or was it her mother? I can't remember. Victoria is a country founded by Draco Tallulah. Why do you only resist? Father, okay, yeah. I can smell an unimaginable fury in your flames. Do you not crave it? How can that be? Fury? Do you still wish to continue playing house with the infected? How are you this narrow-minded? Oh, you are completely misinterpreting her fury, young lady. Why am I saying young lady? She's probably older than me, like, by quite a bit. Infected. This status does not merit mention. You can step over it, disregard it, save it. I give you a chance now, Tallulah. Misheard fury as Yuri. Okay, no, that's just you wishing it upon it. I can disregard your infected status, and even this pitiful mutual aid program you control. Your flames move me, Tallulah. Stand with me, and I pledge that everything you desire shall be realized into reality. At this point, I should just give Iblana Palpatine voice. You know, join me, and together we can bring balance to the galaxy. Do it. Like, do it. Oh no, I can't. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. Yeah, I saw she's playable in the Chinese server, I think. I think that was what it was mentioned. Come to my side, submit to me, and Tara shall stand together with you. Our careers hold no conflict with each other at all. Both you and this infected movement of yours need to end more powerful and prosperous than this. Oh, I like that. Are you finished speaking? Ew. Sorry. Oh god, I can't do that. I can't do it just because the moment I start, I immediately go into a fit of giggles. Yaplana, yes. Although to be honest, Yaplana sounds like a Russian name. Draco. Your eyes have only desire in them. Oh. A desire to free Tara, to exact revenge on Victoria, fulfill your own desires, or perhaps... Also, let's stop saying free Tara. They don't care about freeing Tara, they care about becoming the leaders of the country. If they want to rename it as Tara, then that's another thing, but they're not freeing it, they just want power. Iblana also sounds like a Russian insult. Good point. Oh, that's right. When is the next Sarkaz event coming in? Because I really want to play that. You have yet to even grasp what exactly lies in the depth of your desires. Yuri, it's true, and I won't deny it. And that's why. Come any closer, and my flames will consume you whole. Fire. Fire. Sorry. Fury. A calm fury. It burns at the extremities of her death. I'm not interested in the Draco's lineage, power, or the country. You. Do you lead the Terran's resistance with such a narrow-sighted desire and ideals? If so, then perhaps it's better if I just cut you down here and now. Truly a pity. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Uninterested in lineage, power, nor country. No, I can't really maintain the voice of Palpatine, unfortunately. Our history summarized. An imaginary crown. An instigated resistance. Well said. Perhaps I don't know what's going on. Or could it be... Do you think I'm indulging myself with my actions? You shall be my most powerful vassal. Though my other subjects are eager for me to kill any other living Draco to uphold my legitimacy. I think Tallulah's a little bit sick and tired now of being people's vassals. But they don't know exactly why. Well, they don't know why exactly I wish to establish a nation. And you know it yourself? Of course. And my sister will do it in my stead. Don't leave your affairs for your family to do, Draco. You're the one ruining the lives of others with utter disregard. Death is only my prisoner. No death is taken for granted without meaning. No. All with power will die worthy deaths. Is that up for you to decide? Haven't you realised yet that your manners, gentleness, affection, and even your arrogance and scorn are all fake? You're just a hypocritical tyrant, despite your bombastic words. There! Literally that! Death is just a scepter for you to brandish your authority. And you're not the first tyrant I've met either. Stay away from reunion. It was an extremely dull answer. But your answer will change in the end, though it'd be a pity for you to die here. Again, she's probably sick of hearing that. Like, if she's had a penny for every single time someone has said, oh, you'll turn around eventually and become my vassal, she'd have 2 pennies, which is 1 more than is needed. Reunion. Indeed, those flowers death could not burn earlier are equally deserving of affection. But what if I tell you? Dublin's forces will exterminate every last one of Reunion's members if you refuse to submit to me. What will you do then? Destroy you? Do you wish for us to be enemies? I don't know what happened in the time you spent drifting about Ursus after leaving Victoria, but I can feel it. From your flames, strong and weak, profound and superficial, angry and remorseful. 'Tis a sinner from Reunion. Don't think too highly of yourself, Draco. Ah, the little flower. Your team's not too far away. You must be so concerned for her. It doesn't matter. This isn't the first time Reunion is up against a strong foe. Dublin's forces? You already erred by not calling in your high-speed battleships immediately. We'll kill you before your drones arrive. I'll do my best and everything it takes to kill you. Your desires and ambitions, we don't care for them, and I'm in no mood to listen to your Red Dragon chat with Tallulah. All I know is that you'll die. For sure. Enough with that look. All of us have no wish to continue this, right? Alright, Tallulah, other descendant of the Red Dragon. Even if you reject me and your actions have wholly nothing to do with my terror, but your fury, resistance and desires and answers, your end lies with me too. Let us treat today's meeting as a first prophecy. Tara's loyal servants shall come here, one after the other. Go, Reunion. Bring some chaos to Victoria and create some opportunities for us. The next time we meet, one red dragon is bound to bite the other to death. Now, bear in mind, one of these is confirmed playable. And only one of these. Oh, hello, Jen. I forgot you put that uniform back on. Tarantula sounds like someone trying to say Quentin Tarantino's name. That's enough hiding. Come out already. It's only going to be more humid after night falls, and you won't be able to light the firewood you got. It's funny how, like, she's got such a dapper uniform on, and then she's, like, so baby-faced. Oh. Who? Oh, is this person? Who are you? You're infected. Doesn't matter. I'm the same. I won't harm you or anything. So this is what happened to the exiled. There's no need to be so wary. I'm not lying. I really am infected. You're not a Victorian? I'm from Yan. What's a Yanese doing here? My family came here for business and got caught up in the war. I was going to evacuate them, but I accidentally contracted erypathy. So that's what we're going with. The piece of shit brigade. So they left me behind. Everyone is unfair to the infected everywhere. Your luck sure sucks. But we can't help you either. I can tell. You don't even have a way to start a fire, so you're probably no art users. Yeah, I noticed her sword got bluer. I'm assuming it's not the sword, but the sheath. So she just swapped out a red sheath for a blue sheath. Because you wouldn't have an exposed blade. You couldn't do that. Well, I mean, you could, but it would... You're likely to cut yourself the moment it swings around. She would instantly be cut in the back of her thighs. Don't seem to be hunters either, so you won't live more than a few days. Getting captured by the military as an infected, or by the Sarkaz as a Victorian, either way is a terrible way to go, right? So, I can help you get the fire going at least. Watch. Oh, it's really burning. It was that easy? Fijal's is known for being a very angry blade. True. Thank you so much, Yanese lady. What about you? Do you need us for anything? The sky's getting dark. Can I rest here for the night? I'll leave at first light tomorrow. How's a foreign refugee like you this calm and unruffled? And your sword? Even I can tell it ain't some ordinary blade. You're right. I'm what they call a jubao in Yan. Is it biao or just bao? Or bao? Bao? I don't know. No. Like the messengers here. I'm pretty skilled and not a stranger to traversing adverse conditions either. Surviving in the wild isn't that difficult for me. You helped us start a fire. I'll leave it at that. I hate how I can read that in the tune of that one song, because it's pretty much the exact same number of syllables. I'll admit what we did. Even if it's soldiers who find out, as long as the Sarkaz don't catch us. It's not like they'll reward you with a feast. That worth discussing when we don't even have a crumb to eat now? You helped us start the fire. Yeah, that was like, you helped us start a fire. Those reunion crazies. They're the reason why it's so dire for us now. Union? You haven't heard? Well, you've only been recently infected after all. There are bands of infected, and we're all counting on them to be our saviours. You fought over something. We robbed a Sarkaz, but they were of the opinion that we killed one of their infected countrymen. Sarkaz. Countrymen, my daughter's dead because of them. My daughter, Kel. Ugh. Do they have a leader? 9. Yeah, she's the one who chased us away. There was another they called Guard, but he's dead. Ugh. I really want to roast something for dinner. I don't know what reunion is exactly, but the group we encountered were a bunch of hypocrites who belong in a dumpster. What? You want to shake my hat? You want me to shake hands with the Sarkaz and make peace? I'll be the next one I see to death. Right. Remember the rumours we already heard from the Ursus Tundra? Lula? Hero of the infected. She didn't seem much at all to me. I remember she was always trailing behind 9, and never said anything more than a few words. The hearsay from those old infected weren't worth shite. 9 might have been the actual decision maker all along. This is all just useless banter. It's too late for you to join them, Yanese fella. Where'd they go? And how would I know? Back then, I left in a huff with this guy in tow. I remember there being a messenger station in this direction about a dozen kilometers from here. An early rest for us today, then. We have to get back on the road tomorrow. We? Who's we? You speaking Gaulish? I don't think they would want to go back. Huh. Haven't seen actual Victorian soldiers in a while now. Nothing usual to report. Unusual, rather. Did you hear? The Duke seemed to have bumped into each other. Duke Windermere sacrificed herself, and the other lords can no longer sit still either. The Madam's legendary tale is still in my mobile terminal. Legends are useless now. But you know who was keeping watch here at Chetley before we took command? I thought the Sarkaz seized this place long ago. That could have been the we, but that seems a bit weird because it sounds like she was talking direct, unless, like, Bagpipe was in, like, an earpiece or something, listening elsewhere. Could they have been stragglers from some army? Maybe it's the Londinium Citizen Self-Salvation Corps. Rumours abound that they're still active. That's ace. They managed to stand up to the Sarkaz even though there's no decent equipment to be found there. Here, rather. Yeah. They're definitely veterans roaming about the country who can take on 100 alone. Right? No way they're just some local thugs or work with riffraff. Oh, there it is. Scouts sent their intel. Basically, it was pretty much what the commander predicted. Which was impossible to predict. Send it to the tent. I can't make heads or tails of it either. Sarkaz army's methods are just too unconventional. Sure. Wait. Scouts say they detected a strange squad identification code. Want to report it together? Hello. The exemplars. Oh! There it is, the Return of the King. Isn't that name from the War of the Four Nations? What am I supposed to tell them? Our scouts saw a spectre? Ah! Templars. Know anything about them? No. I'm from the Duke of Fife's 4th Infantry Battalion. That's no longer important. Aye, you're just an infected now, and I'm basically a deserter. We're both a wee bit of a pickle, aren't we? I didn't think I'd have Be so overcautious here, Chetley. Bagpipe, I can't find this funny at all. Chetley's now under the army's jurisdiction, so are we... I'm sure you have no clue how enchanting the hay piles are at this time of the year. I want to celebrate with me army chums back home too. I'm sort of flip-flopping between Scottish and Irish, I must admit. But I can't expose myself to... I can't expose myself so easily like that. They treat deserters no better than foul beasts on the chopping block for dinner. You're a good one, miss. I'm sure you can sort this misunderstanding out. Tell me that a year back and I might have believed you. The Exemplars. Isn't that the Tempest Platoon's former name? Okay, thank God I didn't have to do that accent too much. Like it was hanging on by a thread, my ability to maintain it. Still following me? You seem strong, and we haven't eaten at all the past 2 days. We're all fellow infected, aren't we? Oh, don't shit. We'll travel together for a while more. You might be able to see the station you mentioned after the hillside. Or maybe it's been smashed to bits. Wait. Look, over there. People, right? Right. Stay calm. Their numbers are limited, at the very least. Wait, hold on. The Victorians. I can see them. Are they a squad of refugees? I can see some soldier guards too. We do. This is much better than running into Sarkaz, but we're infected. Are we going to be... The infected already abandoned us, so we might as well ask them for food than starve to death out here. Be careful though. War, especially this kind of war, is a lawless land and we don't really know what they will do. Besides, think about it. How many people are going to emerge from this war with veropathy? Surely they'll let us live somehow. Of course. Definitely. For sure. Sure they will. I'll go take a look. Hey! Heavens. What's going to happen if the soldiers do turn hostile? And, you're a Yanese. What if... I think you can ease up on the anxiety. Look, they seem to be getting along well. Huh? Really does look like it. He's waving. I'll go over. Ken watches the two infected mingle with their compatriots. Vigilance, talking, casual chatting. Soon, someone puts their arm on their shoulders, and their cheery chatter reaches Chen's ears. Chen stays at her spot for a long time. Yanese lady. I talked with them. We can travel together. Huh? Where'd she go? You beat a Sarkaz to death. Oh yeah, you're our heroes. It's been a while since I've seen you in person. You finally replied to my invitation, Duke Godin. It seems that seems that even you realise how serious the situation is. Oh God, what a pompous fuck you are. And yes, I can tell he's gonna be Scottish from the tartan, but I don't feel like giving him an accent. It's too difficult to do. I might do it later in the future if we see him again. Yes, it's gotten so serious that our cautious Duke Caster has actually left her territory to grace the front lines in person. Victorian Duke has died on the battlefield. How many years has it been since something like this has happened? Quite a few if our fellow nobles suspect you behind your back, you know. After all, everyone knows you never got along with Duke Windermere. That stubborn Windermere would never support your little plot to take over Londinium. Yes, I think that was mentioned before when he this is the first time we've seen him, I think, but when the name Gododin was actually would that be like a Finn? You know, double D if it's like Celtic or Welsh, Celtic or Gaelic, I suppose. I don't know. At the moment, I'm saying Gododin. Also, man has like a little goatee and then the chin underneath it. Sorry, that was rude, but he just looks like such a pompous fuck. I can't help but just nitpick everything about him. But I know it wouldn't be you. You welcome any loss she suffers, even if they were major, but now your problems have only increased with her death. In fact, all of us have attracted a big problem. There are rumours from outside that the young Duke Gododin today is obsessed with notions of romance and lacks the wisdom and wits of his house. It seems that our country has become so weak that we've exhausted our ability to understand people. Don't flatter me, I'm only inclined to care about other matters, yours included. Alas, why does this war compel us to face our responsibilities? All I can do is to walk out in the winery and throw myself down at the table of today. And for this end, I've even brought a friend. It was not easy to bring him off his high-speed battleship. Swear to God, if it's fucking Dublin. Looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him. Sorry. To think the Duke of Wellington would grace us with his presence. Time grows short. Yeah, okay, Dumbledore. I hear you met with some troubles on the front line. The Naxxra King is not an easy enemy to deal with. No more than just Sarkaz. You must take care of yourself. After all, you're already... I'm not at the age where I need you to tell me how old I am. The stalemate on the front line will end soon, and Windermere's defeat will have a minimal impact on the war situation. We will be able to retake the front lines in no time. See, now, this guy gives me the impression that he's one of those old generals, like, you know, during World War I, who was originally in the Napoleonic Wars. Was it the Napoleonic Wars? Whichever one came before World War I. And they thought that that war was going to be the same. And so they built trenches. Modern warfare, machine guns, trenches. It will be over in about a year. And then it was a bloody stalemate for years. Like, he gives me that impression, especially with all the pomp and circumstance of the many medals. Your valiant march onwards has caused the ducal armies to clash with the Sarkaz military on all fronts. It's not enough. We must execute an effective offensive that then and continue defending our fragmented defences to win this war. Our counterattack must begin. Yeah, 100 years. God damn it. What is it? There was okay, so there were a lot of generals, you know, who were generals during World War One, but they were part of a previous war. And obviously before that, all of the, what we call modern stuff. So, you know, again, like machine guns and that kind of thing. Russo-Japanese War, that's probably it. Maybe the Crimean War? No, Crimean War is Victorian era. That's also Napoleonic, isn't it? I think. Yeah, because Victoria and Albert, they were the ones in charge. They made the Victoria Cross after Crimea, so it couldn't have been that one. Wrong Crimea War. I mean, as in the original one that Britain was involved in. But that would have been too long ago. So yeah, probably the Russo-Japanese War. Although Britain wasn't really that. Oh, I can't remember. I'll probably look it up next time. But they have trenches and donkeys. That is true. Yeah, yeah. It's not going that well for them, is it? I agree. A rare sight to see the two of you so in agreement. Londinium is now officially declared to be under the Sarkaz occupation. This means they will no longer have a need to hide. This does not bode well for us at all. My follow-up units will assemble in 3 days. We suffered some losses in the previous war, but Wellington's battleships will still be the first to rush into the storm. I will participate as well, and see to it that the Dukes of Normandy and Fife join our efforts. Abercorn and Ashworth will, of course, also be reasonable people, rather. That is, I like that. Okay, we will, of course, also be reasonable people. Like, What an unprecedented sight to behold, the Dukes speeding to Londinium on their battleships to shell the city walls. I hope there won't be a second time. Inform your troops that I will take command in this battle. No! I don't like that, because I know who you side with. Naturally. Well then, if you will excuse me, there are many matters waiting for me to handle on the front line. And just like that, truly a swift and decisive man. I grew up listening to the tales of the Empire's death knell, but I didn't think his heir would actually turn completely white. Oh, I read that as heir as in heir to the throne, but no, it's hair. Everyone is their own side regardless. Well, yes, but we know specifically that he works with Ablana and Dublin. We've seen that. And while, okay, yes, maybe is the sort that will go with Victoria's best interests, he might think that's with Dublin and then afterwards decide, nah, I don't really know what it is like, but I don't know. I don't trust him. Forming a military alliance with other dukes used to be an earth-shaking affair, but look at us now. We can't even have a presentable meeting. Judging from his words, he's become a stubborn old man unwilling to admit his setbacks. Duke Caster, I know nothing about war, but looking at old Wellington's condition, I fear we won't be able to completely trust him. Caster? Indeed. Trust. No, it's nothing. I merely recalled some past events of my youth. Old Wellington. He conceals an impatience, his unease, and even his shortcomings. He is getting older as well. But he can't fool me. It's all fake. You've known him for a long time. For far too many years. Even from when I was just a little girl with no experience. What are your thoughts on the matter? The look in his eyes as he spoke of the Naxivir was exactly the same as it used to be in his youth. Be it friend or foe, he is like a beast thirsting to tear the other to feast on their blood, to rip out their entrails, chew their bones and swallow them. Hunt, devour, grow. He has always been this sort of warrior. The old man's appetite has always been good. So is yours. Who was already in Duke Wellington's belly when you met him? Oh, wasn't that the Emperor? Ivan Yevgenovich. No, there's another syllable there. Yevgenyevich. There we go. I mean, that's Yevgeny, so as in like Yevgeny Prigozhin is. Died, yeah. Herkovson, as well as Corsica First. I see. You were really quite young back then. Bruh. There used to be a saying in the among the noble. Guys, please. You were doing so well the previous previous arcs and events. There used to be a saying among the nobles in Caster territory, regarded as an ominous symbol. Victoria only has one true duke after the War of the Four Nations. For we restricted the weakened him after that fought more than 60 years. The people forget about heroes in peacetime, and the nobles repel the death knell in their fear. He revealed his fatigue earlier, but I think of, and I've always been thinking of something, the smile on his face when we were both young, flashed towards the endless expanse of the battlefront. He stood side by side with the Emperor of Ursus. He witnessed the Witch King's art. He saw the greatest monarchs and dismantled the largest modern cities to exist then. How can someone like him willingly throw himself into to the slaughter? You're telling me our man who has had no choice but to swallow his pride for decades and might be still Victoria's strongest general has divulged his true feelings? You're the one who invited him to the table. You know he has a trump card up his sleeve. I'm feeling a little chilly. The wind outside tonight is rather strong. Chilly. Be sure not to catch a cold, Duke Gododin. Of course not. Please, be at ease. Despite what everyone says about me, I really am lazy and would much rather stay in my lovely estate appreciating the countryside view than be on a battleship. Wait, you mean people say the opposite of that? But I do like winter. Ah, I got it. You tinkering with the radio equipment again? Didn't I already tell you multiple times, Closure? Our recent patrols haven't gone far enough to pick up any signals coming from inside Londinium. And I already told you so many times, I am a Rhode Island engineer. Look, my equipment specifically made for Rhode Island communications can now receive signals from other channels after my many modifications. Let's see. Londinium Self-Salvation Corps broadcast. Repeat. Commander Closure and the other members who have not left are still fighting. Repeat. We need backup. Commander Clavisia. I knew she and the others were fine. We need to hurry and tell everyone about this. Great. They're all right and I'm done debugging this tool in my hand. Wait. There's another message from the Rhode Island channel. Can't be. What happened to Blaze and the rest with her? And what's with all the regular infected? Uh-oh. The disembarkment application for Londinium, Victoria, been approved. Local branch operators, please make preparations. Did I say command to closure at one point? I think I did. Like, I realised it as I said command to Clavisia, like, the second time. And I think, hang on, I didn't say Clavisia the first time, did I? I did. God damn it, of course I did. I mean, hey, battlefield promotions aren't that rare in war. Repeat, please make preparations. Wow. So many books here, but not even a vegetable stem to be found. The number of books won't matter if we don't find any stems. Are you sure we can't find something edible here? If we don't, then we can just kick down some house store after. When they put up a fight, we already took them all away. Whew, man, I'm beat. Life was so much simpler before. Swing our sword, cut someone down, swing again, cut down another, and then boom, money. Bada bing, bada boom. But now, we can't even find a single stem to eat. Is Londinium still considered Victoria's now? I mean, we occupied it, so does it count as a new city of ours now, or is it still Victoria's? These two give very big, hey, do you know why we're here, vibes. Like, if anyone gets that reference. I don't know. All I know is the clouds have begun to gather lately. Top of that building is extremely unusual. Yes, red versus blue. What's there to worry? That's where the region is. You hear a strange noise? Huh? Ah. So strange. Just, why do you hear boss music? you just hear, like, you see the red bar appear at the bottom of the screen. You just hear that, just start hearing that one Dark Souls 3 song. Also, what the fuck? Why is there a Steam Night? Where did that come from? I'm not going to hold out hope. I'm going to assume it's not her. But still, what the fuck? A huge figure emerges from the shadows, and a ray of light blazes through the deathly still streets. It rises its heavy arm, and then harshly drops it. Oh. Okay. He has returned. Damn, that also means it's not her, though. The armor falls into silence, like it was just an illusion. A faint fire seeping from its helmet is the only sign that it still lives. Fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell. I mean, he's out of line, but it's right. Oh, that's just fucking amazing. Oh. Oh. Yes. Please. Let this not be an illusion or some weird spiritual thing. Let it actually be her. She stretches out her hands to touch the knight, but is forced to refrain from the residual heat on the armor. The armor remains silent. Motherfucker, you can't end it there, fuck's sake. Okay, is that actually the last cutscene, or is there a cutscene after this? Because remember Chapter 8, they did like 3 cutscenes in a row and gave the ending. Oh, here we go. Your Highness, what are you looking at? Dark clouds. The shard's energy is gathered. According to the Confessari research, a device like this able to manipulate Originium's reactions will also be able to control that piece of Originium. The Dukes have begun mobilizing their forces, and in a few days... No, I don't mean the clouds here. God, yeah, it really is low res compared to, what was it, the Kazdel thing, the Babel, event. What's about to happen in Londinium is set in stone. Manfred, you were born in Kazdel. What does it look like in your memories? It was already the hub unit of your nomadic city while I was still growing up. Yes, we did see Boyfred at the time. My memories of the place, the sky was always overcast. Even worse than Victoria's skies, to be honest. There was always a pungent stench of industrial waste in the air. Fucking... Seriously, what has happened with the localization recently? I mean, I say recently, I know Chapter 14 was a little while ago, but you get what I mean, like, there was a while, like Chapter 9 up to onwards, where they sort of, like, ironed out a lot of the mistakes they used to make. But it seems like it's sort of started again. Would you call that place home? Oh no, a typo, yeah. It's just weird thing. It really does throw me off a bit. Big script. Well, I mean, yes, but you pay people to do that. And if you need to pay multiple people to do it, then that's what you do. I would. Really? I was thinking how we Sarkaz always travel within a haze. Yes, but it should be fixed. I mean, that's kind of the thing, because it's like, don't get me wrong, official publications almost always have a couple of misspellings or grammatical errors. It does happen. And I know many an author who only find out after they publish. It happens. But I do feel as though, especially when it comes to things like video games and such, you have the time to read and reread. Like, I don't expect there to be no mistakes. I don't expect there to be no mistakes. I expect there to be some. There always will be. It just feels like recently. And that's the thing. It has been getting worse. That's basically that's the only issue I have with it. I don't have an issue with the fact that there are mistakes. My issue about it is the fact that for a while it had improved, and it seems like whatever they were doing, they were doing more of it. They either hired more people or better system in place or something. But it does feel as though recently it's sort of declined again. And that's the thing that I critique. I don't have an issue with the fact that they have mistakes. My issue is the fact they don't seem to have some sort of kind of thing. We are determined to tear the clouds apart. But when everything is finally revealed, the true calamity will follow. Will we make it in time? I hope the light I've been looking at rather, can still shine then. I was looking at it, we burn the clouds away, yeah. Even if I'm already in the depths of the darkness. Oh, that was the last cutscene as well, so there wasn't anything else there. There are 5 collectible that just says reduced 25% and not what is... Oh, 5 of them. Oof. Yay, sleep. Okay, I'm just going to open up this one, because I'm going to assume there's a cutscene. There is not, never mind. Check the Chapter 4 trailer. I think I'll leave that for when I do Chapter 4. I was going to do it here, but, oh, should I do it now, or should I do it for the... Or should I do it on the first episode of Chapter 14? Just like, Chapter 13, the cutscene is later. Yeah, I just thought, because sometimes they play it at the beginning, they play something at the beginning. Do it next time makes more sense. Yeah, I mean, it was either one or the other. Like, either end it on that for the hype or do it when we start. And I think I'll do it when we start. Yeah, Absolved will be the Seekers. I just see the babble in the background. Do it. Yay, sleep time is real. Okay, I think I'll leave it for next time then, just because it... you know, I don't want to drag it too long. I know there's some people who want to sleep and all that. Dagger's inheritor for the law. Okay. I'll keep those in mind. I think I'll collect the stuff. I'll put a list of things to watch first and then do that. I might actually do it next time. If I do end up streaming on Friday, I might do it then before doing the thingy. Whole story, never gameplay, never change. Yeah, I had to do the boss fight off camera. It was, I was bashing my head against it so much. But yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it here now, and yeah. So next time I will. Well, so it depends on how it goes. I might do. Can't wait for you to start chapter 14. It's going to be one hell of a ride. Ooh, I have heard that it's quite a chapter. My next stream will be Valhalla, and I think that's also going to be finishing if what I know is correct. And then yeah, I might be streaming more Arknights on Friday. It depends. I'm going out, so if I do end up streaming, it will be the integrated strategies. I'll be trying the new one. But that's the general idea anyway. Until then, though, thank you guys so much for coming around, and I do apologise for the delayed start and all of that. Valhalla has a secret ending and some extra stuff, though. True, I'll see what I can do. So far, I'm fairly certain I've been doing everything exactly as I'm supposed to, so I might be on track for that. So it might be another stream if it ends up being the normal ending. But anyway, yeah, so until then though, thanks so much for hanging around, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.